Welcome back, Andy.
So this is the confession segment of today's show. We ate all the food before.
There's no
You know
left.
what? The chicken was so nice. Like
It was so good. The vegetables
we're
were
sorry.
sauteed properly. The chicken was spiced properly, and we were really trying our best to wait to show you guys the end result.
it's your fault, Chevy.
Yeah,
It's your
Chevy,
fault. I mean, how
I-
did you?
We can give this to the audience.
Like that was so good.
It was amazing. Where can
Okay.
people find you?
One delizia.ng.
Okay.
You can order our food online, and then we also handle catering as well
Okay.
What's your
Yeah.
Instagram account?
at delizia.ng.
Okay.
Can you
Yeah.
spell that?
DELIZIA.ng.
Okay,
Yeah.
delizia.ng, and follow him on social media at Delizia on Instagram.
Yeah, on Instagram.
And Instagram. All right. Thank you so much, and thank you for that amazing meal, Andy. This was all you. You ate more than
I
I.
had to. Just had to. Thank you so much.
We'll take a short break right now. More on the weekend show. Don't go anywhere.
Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to your poetic interlude on the weekend show with me, Emeka Ozurumba. Just want to thank Chef V for coming on the show, giving us a nice recipe. We also want to thank one of ours in our pizzas for having an extra award for the entertainment, which is so nice. I'll be presenting a poem today on our show called The Weeping Walls. The triumphants saw the Star of David towards New Jerusalem, but the voluntary victims used their thumbs for their own self-destruction. And it grew cancerous allot of lump doldrumation, was found as debutant dedris, a cemented abortion. They that layer the brick wall become jobless, or in the labor market where their degrees are worthless. Your wails to the land of Jerusalem do not move the walls. So when there were some perforated clouds of galls, it was odious to see the victim from the victimized. On your gold-plated walls were the mystical inscriptions canonized. Ziot Yahu Asher Bait Ein Kezel Ve Zahav Im Commodore Ve Etsam Amata Tar Haish Asher Yatak Ezot. There is soon to be an unknown visitor of ceaseless cries. When their tough finger clutched the trigger that prize, the receding light alights his ease in solemn tribute, a creak from the coned down inhuman thought deluge, to meticulous deeds in oviparous grapes of sorrowing dirge. Or you might say, and the willows fall to the winds of the canticle of Zachary's Paul, when you sing, Benedictus Dominus Dos Israel, qua visitat et fecit, redemption et plebiscua et eresit cornus salutus nobis, indomo David puerici sicut lotus es per os. But I only knew the canticle of Saint Simeon that sang, Secundum verbum tum in paz, qua viderunt oculi mes salutar quod, parasti antefasum omnium populorum, lorum ad revolutionem, gentum et gloriam, plebis tua Israel. Amen. The victims, though in 70 years of captivity, promulgate the tenure of propaganda for Waterloo's objectivity, and ravish themselves with protrusions of hate's longevity. Buried in the endless waters of time with no suffice, he put wealth in seclusions for the memorial sacrifice, but to the impoverished, victim hunger persists. Conscience will always desist to keep him burning diseased, other than to cheer, swallowed in strife, overshadowed. Yet the elongation of the stone is clouded by unclarity hallowed. In depth that boosts the status of the tiny grit, he being the jailed cur of a mega knowledge misfit that grows from a pebble to the ferocious cannibal of the forests. A gun now they take at strategic ambushes. There are treasures of gold buried in the hand of the gun's galoshes. Jobless and with incessant, unquenchable slacks of rickets. Twice of the panacea is delved beyond acquisition of trinkets. Sudden there looms a heart to a desert place, where nothing like love daring can grow and no comfort needs. He was the bandit's armory bob touched with broken trees. The other victims are discomforted by the insecurities of the casket. Beshari concaves only a fury lover is he that lusts for blood, till the favors fall to his fierce seduction. The riotous, he floats on his surface shallow description, adhering his eyes, tickle flame of beauteous trade and powerless precisions to the unknown face. If no ransom is paid, he slouches on the sabers of blood's dirt, and their bloody stillbeds call for the desolation of death. If you become captured, like David in the pandemic, will you say, the impoverished, language not thee in epidemic, and make strong thy weapon of war? Without the ransom money in affectional stables, your stubbles of sedated eyelids approach fire law blazes. But the divine light, near to thee shall it come. How? By massive joblessness and economic downturn comatose, with lack of infrastructural facilities to boost economic growth, using the laborious weapons of corruption, ethnicity, tribalism, and religious gout. But to the buried man underneath, there's a pine, a certain slippery wound to be felt that touches the spine of the inner mind, delved beyond the habits of the flesh, to the soul, where certain laments are mained on emotion. This poem deals with political and religious propaganda, because we have the weeping walls in Jerusalem towards the eastern world, where most of our leaders go and recite the canticles, like the canticle of Zachary that was read in Latin is Zachariah's prayer when he came out of dumbfoundment and he was told that his son is going to be the forerunner. And we have the canticle of Simeon, also called the Nunc Dimittis, which was said when Simeon saw the Messiah and he confessed that God can take him now, he has seen the Messiah. But all these are religious hypocrisy, because if we don't make good economic encroachment or towards our destination, we're only going to be making prayers and they're not going to be answers. So when we see joblessness and massive economic comatose, we could just see that it's as a result of praying and not taking actions. So we want our leaders at this point in time to start taking actions and not just be buried by religious propaganda. I just want to also comment again, Chef V. It's such a nice aroma around here, and you guys should really keep watching our show. I hope you like it. It's back to Andy and Osasu for our political segment. Stay tuned.